Welcome to PhD in Science. In today's video, I will cover the types of evolution and important terms used frequently in evolution. Feel free to skip to the part that you are interested in and pause or rewind to the step that you didn't quite catch. If you don't understand something, feel free to comment below and I will be more than happy to answer. Without further ado, let's get started. Convergent evolution is the process in which, independently of one another, two distinct organisms evolve a common trait. This also happens because both organisms face similar threats and selective pressures under the same environmental conditions. Usually, analogous structures emerge from convergent evolution. Different organisms of different branches without having the same ancestor evolve similar characteristics entirely independently from each other. These related characteristics have been established because they face similar environmental conditions and selective pressures or challenges to which they need to adapt in order to improve the ability of a certain task. Divergent evolution is the process in which, because of variations between individuals of a population, new species are created. This is termed speciation. Usually, this is a result of genetic drift and natural selection. Typically, homologous structures emerge from divergent evolution. Due to variations and contrasts between individuals of a group, speciation occurs, producing new species. However, each species has a common ancestor and thus displays similar anatomical characteristics, such as the structure, but these may be structured in a different, advantageous way to conform to the environment, also through, once again, natural selection. Not only do homologous structures emerge from divergent evolution, but also vestigial structures. These organisms have common ancestors and thus similar anatomical characteristics, so for example in structure, but may face different environmental circumstances to which they respond through natural selection. They have the same structure since they have common ancestors. Some of these, however, may not be required to live in their setting, thus becoming vestigial. Coevolution is the process in which two or more species influence each other's evolution beneficially. When various animals have similar evolutionary relations with others, coevolution is likely to occur. Two animals that support each other, such as a flower and a pollinator, for instance. Macroevolution. Macroevolution refers to large-scale shifts, including the development of new organisms and groups that occur over prolonged time periods. Microevolution refers to modifications on a small scale that affect either one or a few genes and arise over shorter timescales of species. Speciation. In evolution, speciation is a process that causes the formation of new and separate species that are isolated from each other reproductively. If an organism, population, and group eventually diverge, they can no longer interbreed. Clade. A branch that contains a single shared ancestor and all of its descendants is considered a clade within a cladogram. It illustrates a category of species that comprises all of its members and all of the descendants of the most recent common ancestor. An ancestor is any organism, population, or species that is descended by reproduction from some other organism, termed the ancestor. It can also be from a population or a species. Species. A species is a group of living organisms made up of related individuals that are capable of gene exchange or interbreeding. A cladogram is used to depict a hypothesized relationship between animal groups, called phylogeny. As follows, it is used to visualize the comparative classes of species, how they are related, and their most common ancestor. Comparing only 2 or 3 classes of organisms, a cladogram can not only be simple, but it can also be incredibly complex and contain all of the documented life forms. Synapomorphy. A synapomorphy is a characteristic shared by all those in a clade. In addition, it is a derived character, which is common between an ancestor and his offspring. For instance, mammals share the synapomorphism of the ability to produce baby milk, which is a liquid excreted from the body in order to feed babies. Well, that was it. I hope you have learned something new and would appreciate if you can use these videos to support your learning path. I do also have an Instagram and TikTok account where I will post short, concise clips of each topic.